One way to work effortlessly as a wig maker is to get quality and stress-free wig tools. Tools that don't disappoint you, tools that will stand the test of time. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through all my favorite wig tools and the brand that I use. And I'll take you behind the scenes of how these tools work for me. If you want to learn the best tools to use, make sure you keep on watching. The first product I'm going to be talking about is the open toe presser foot. If you work on the sewing machine and you find that when you're sewing you can't see what you're doing, the presser foot keep dragging the wig cap, open toe presser foot is the best tool to use on the sewing machine. With this you can see what you're doing, you can control the cap very well on the sewing machine, and it just makes your life easy. So the next product I'm going to be talking about is hairspray. My favorite one is by Sebastian Shaper and the Schwarzkopf Silhouette Hairspray. These two are my favorites. The Sebastian Shaper, I use it to set my hairline. If you want your hair to be very hard, not just hairspray guys, if you want it to be rock hard, I'm not really a fan of wax sticks. So if I want to set my hairline, I use the Sebastian Shaper. So I spray it on the hair and I use my hot comb. Or sometimes if I do use the wax stick and I want to get rid of that stickiness that comes with wax stick, I use the Sebastian Shaper. So after the wax, I put the Sebastian Shaper on my hairline and I'll use my hot comb. This way it stays in place. Pretty much the Sebastian Shaper is that's exactly what it is a shaper. If you want your hair to have some type of updo, especially updo, it's very great for updos. Any hairstyle that is stiff, Sebastian Shaper is your girl. The Schwarzkopf Silhouette Hairspray, I use it mainly to set my curls. For soft curls like this, I use the Silhouette for that. Those are my two favorite hairsprays. Next one is heat protector. Guys, you know that if you are working with raw hair, even virgin hair, but especially raw hair is just like glue. If you put a dye on it, it grabs it. If you put bleach, it reacts instantly. And the same thing with when you're using it as well. You'll only be able to style your wig 2 times, 3 times at most before you damage your wig if you're not using a heat protector. So my best one so far is the Osmo. The reason why I like it is it doesn't sit on the air. It's not oily like some of heat protectors I've used in the past. It's not oily. It gets the job done. It doesn't feel sticky on the air as well. And it actually protects your hair from heat. But the only downside is that the bottle is made of plastic. It's not my favorite packaging. You can, change the packaging to a can or something. It would be perfect. Nevertheless, it's still my favorite heat protector. The next one I'm going to be talking about is tweezers. I'm yet to meet a wig maker that doesn't work on lace frontals, lace closure, anything lace. You know that having a good tweezer is going to go a long way. My favorite tweezer is Tweezerman, and it's right here. The reason why I love this is it's so small. It picks up the smallest hair. I'm using the silver one and the slanted one. When you're working with some tweezers, they will pick the hair, and then when you try to pull it, it doesn't pull from the lace. It kind of breaks the hair into two, and that can be very annoying. When that happens, it just means that your tweezer is not really holding the hair properly. And then when you go in, you are just breaking the hair. You're not really pulling it from the lace. But I find that this one gets the job done. It picks the hair and it pulls it out from the roots. When I'm pulling the hair, I don't lose the grip on the hair with this tweezer. So my next product is weft cutters. I stopped using scissors to cut my weft because I find that when I use scissors, what happens is it frays the weft and it doesn't give you like a precise cut. But this one does that. It gives you like a precise cut so that when you go in to sew your hair onto your wig, the hair stays intact. And then while you're brushing it, you don't feel the hair falling off. Because when you cut it, it goes in between the weft and it gives it like a clean straight cut. The next product I use when I'm making my wigs is bobbin case. I mean, if you're a wig maker and you make a lot of wigs, you know that the most annoying thing, the last thing you want to happen is you making the wig, you're comfortable, you have your weft by your side and you're making the wig. Everything is smooth sailing, and then you realize that you've not been sewing. Your bobbin is finished. You've not been sewing for, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You realize that you have no bobbins left, and you have to pull the wig out You align your sewing machine settings and thread more bobbins. I find that with extra bobbin case, I never run out of bobbins. A bobbin gets me through a wig. So with a case, I can make as much wig as I can, as I want to, basically. So I never run out of, I never have to think about that headache of, maybe my bobbins running out, or I have to pull my wig out and, align my sewing machine, and it's just long. So I always make sure that I have extra bobbin with case, so that everything is organized. We like to be organized around here. Next one is a polyester sewing thread. When I first started making wigs, I used to buy, all those like Gutterman, the small ones. I used to buy them, and I find that I would go through them very quickly. And they are so, you have to buy them online. I didn't have a local store close to me. Basically, you have to order online and wait for it to arrive. But I find that with the polyester sewing thread, I buy the big one. Ever since I've started using it, I never have to worry about thread. It gets me through as much wig. In fact, I use it for months. The last one I had, I think I used it for 8 months before I ran out. So make sure to invest in a big polyester sewing thread instead of the little ones. When you put it on your sewing machine, it stays in the little handle without popping off. The next product is Wig Blocks. This is like one of the products where I felt like I've spent so much money. Let me get my thoughts together, guys. With Wig Blocks, there's only one brand that I can really recommend personally that I feel like I've used and I'm still using is GEX. You see the ones that you see on Amazon, on all these Chinese websites, randomly on Instagram, the one that has like very weird shape. Make sure to stay away from that, guys. I'm telling you with experience. When I first started making wigs, I just thought, okay, I could just buy anyone. The number one issue I had with them is that once you start to put the T-pins in the wig block, once you start to put it in the same place, it never stays. Do you know how annoying it is when you put the cap on the wig block and you have to secure the hairline on the side and the back? The T-pins goes into the same place every time you make a wig. And you know how annoying it is when every time you go in, the T-pins don't stay. If you want to save yourself the headache, the stress, make sure you get the GEX one. I've got the medium, the small, and the large. And no matter how much you poke this one, your T-pins will keep going in. Sometimes when you don't know these things, you just get whatever you can get your hands on and just keep buying. If you don't know, you don't know, and that's why I'm here to help you guys. And the last but not the least is a wig stand. Can we have a moment of silence for all those nights of frustration, all those early mornings of anger, all those wig stands that we bought and they're just occupying space in your studio, your storage, because they're either broken or they just don't work, guys. I think I bought about 6 before I have this particular one. The wig tripod I'm using right now is a pivot point. If somebody had just told me about this wig tripod years ago, I wouldn't be this angry. I wouldn't be this frustrated anyway. That is pivot point wig tripod. Guys, I love this tripod. This is like lifesaver. If you make a lot of wigs, if you style a lot of wigs, if you don't get anything in this video, if all the products I've mentioned from the beginning of this video, you are not interested, because maybe you have, your favorite one that you're using and you're just not interested, please make sure you get this wig stand. Backstory: the last one I used before this one was the GEX one, and that was my second GEX. The one I bought initially it was okay. I think I used it for 3 years and it was fine. I think I took it to the salon because I used to work in the salon. Sometimes when you're using a tool and other people are using it with you, it might spoil. Sometimes these tools are for one person. They're not that strong that, hairstylist A can be there, B can be there, hairstylist C can go there. They don't withstand all that stress at all. Some of these tools. Same thing with hair straightener, hot comb. Sometimes when you borrow someone or somebody else and the same straightener that you've been using for years, the moment you give it to another person, That's it. It's done. That's just the reality of this thing. Anyway, I took the wig tripod to the salon where I was working. It got damaged after a couple of weeks. And I thought, okay, let me order another one because, GX is a brand that I trusted. The moment it arrived, I could see that it's not going to last. But, I didn't have a choice. I already purchased this. And I was using it. It broke on me in 2 months. And I was so full. I remember I was like, GEX can't be the only brand that is okay. That was after I've used like 3 tripod I bought on Amazon, anyway, whatever, I can't remember. So I was thinking to myself, there has to be a brand that is, reliable. At that point, I was frustrated because I remember I had like a lot of orders to fulfill. It was during Christmas period. So I went on YouTube to search like the best wig tripod, whatever. And this video came up of this guy doing a review on this wig tripod. And from the video, I can tell it looks very strong. It looks like, something that was made from a good material. And I thought, okay, the video was old. I can remember. I left a comment in the video and I just, call it a day. And then he said that he has it and, he recommended it to a lot of people. I bought the tripod and as soon as it came, it felt real. I've been using it for a while now. This wig tripod is literally the same way as it was when I bought it. I use and abuse this tripod. Listen, I know a tripod hate to see me coming. That's all I have to say. If you're looking for a wig tripod, make sure to get the pivot point. I'm going to leave a link to all the products I'm talking about in this video. I'm going to leave them in the description so you can just click. Anyone you're interested, you can click and go ahead and order. That's my tried and trusted wig making products. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you learn a thing or two, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.